Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a first look at the Natasha Denona ZENDO palette. I pre-ordered the palette on Friday and it got here today and I am so excited. What we're going to be doing in this video, I'm going to have timestamps down below. I'm going to be breaking this video into 3 parts. We're going to get to business in this video. We're going to talk about the details of the palette in part 1. The second part is going to be swatching, talking about the colors and the color story and the finishes. And lastly, I'm going to be doing 2 looks, 1 on each eye. And it's going to be just all about this palette. Do you need it? Do you want it? Is it good? We're going to find out. I am going to be doing a second video that will be coming soon as well, and it's going to be a dupes video. So we're going to be comparing this palette to more affordable options. So look out for that video. It will be coming shortly. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jamie. I do beauty videos twice a week. If you like makeup reviews, eyeshadow palette rankings, hauls, all things beauty, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel before you go. And if you guys want to see the Natasha Denona palette in action, hear my thoughts, then keep on watching. Alright, so let's get down to details. So here's what the palette looks like. It has the shimmery packaging. This is the $65 midi palette, she calls them. And it looks like this. I'm sure you guys have all seen it already online. It's so beautiful. I wanted to show you guys next to the bronze palette because when I first saw this on Instagram, I was like, isn't that packaging the same as bronze? But it actually isn't. It is a red packaging and the bronze is more of like a coppery orange packaging. So they are different. But in terms of the pan size, this is the midi size. So they are similar in that regard. And here's what they look like side by side. This is the larger pans, just so that you can get an idea. This is the Safari palette. And so these are the regular size $130 palettes, and this is the midi size, which is the $65 palette. You can see that the pans are much smaller, which I personally prefer. I wish they were all this size and this price point, but that's just me. But this just gives you an idea. Okay, so the description of this palette on her website is that it's a warm-toned palette inspired by her mini ZENDO. Now, personally, I think the mini ZENDO is far more muted than this, but it's inspired by, she says. They're all new iconic Natasha Denona pressed pigments. So all the shades are brand new shades. There's hues of pink, brown, coral, peach with pops of turquoise, a combination that conceptualizes a mix of elements, an ambiance where wood meets metal and nature meets modern. So it has both warm and cool tones. It's inspired by nature and minimalist architecture, conveys peacefulness and tranquility. It says that it's formulated without talc, parabens, phthalates. It's cruelty-free and allergy-free. Oh, and then on her site, if you click on how to use, she explains that you can use them horizontally to make like a 5-pan palette situation. You can use them vertically for a 3-pan look, or you can do them diagonally. And if you actually, oh, and also you can do them as quads. And if you look at them in those little layouts, they all work. Like all the quads layouts work, all the diagonal layouts work. It's very well thought out. I think Natasha Denona is a genius when it comes to color stories. And when I watched her on Instagram break down her kind of thought process and the palette, she explained that this side is warms, this side is cools. You have kind of a more neutral row in the middle to kind of bridge the gap between them. And it was sort of the fusion between flowers, water, and architecture. Sort of where nature meets buildings and shit. But it's supposed to be like a Zen vibe situation. I know a lot of people were saying, like, I don't understand this color story. But I think when you watch her story where she explains her thought process, I feel like it all makes sense. And I think it's beautiful. That is the details on that. It is available on Sephora as well as Natasha Denona's website. She has classic matte pressed powder formula, a metallic formula, a cream to powder formula, and a duochrome formula in this palette. So she's got several different finishes. So we're going to go ahead and swatch them. Okay, so here we have the top row, starting with the dark brown shade. We have Mindful, then the orangey shade is Luster, Balance, Flow, and the matte green is Mantra. The second row, we have Aura, which is the metallic copper. The red shade is Vigor. Then we have Relief, Equilibrium, and Breathe. And the last row, starting with the deep bronzy brown, that is Sense, then Tranquil, Calm, Yama, and Zeal. All right, so I think I'm going to do my looks at the same time because I want them to look the same, but with different tones. I'm going to be doing a third look, as I said, because I'm doing a dupes video. So there will be more looks from this palette coming. What makes the most sense to me today is to do a look using the cool side and then a look using the warm side. So that's what we're going to do. I primed my lids with the Beauty Crop Stuck on You eye primer. I got this in my Ipsy Glam bag, so I've been trying that out, and I've been really liking it. I really wanted to do something wearable, but like that's kind of boring, right? I say we just go for it. I'm gonna go into Mantra, which is a shade way outside my comfort zone, but we're doing it. We're just stepping out today. And I'm just going to stamp that into my outer V. Okay, and then for the other side, I'm going to go into Vigor, and I'm going to do the same thing. To blend out Mantra, I'm going to go into the shade Breathe, and I'm going to stamp that along the edges. Bring it all the way in. Beautiful. These blend out so easy. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a clean blending brush and just buff the edges. Wow, these blend out beautifully. Wow. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to use the shade Relief. For the inner lid, on this side, I am going to take the shade Flow, and I'm just gonna pack that right on the inner lid. On the other side, I'm gonna take Aura. Bridging the gap between those two, on this side, I'm going to take Equilibrium, and I'm going to pop it right in the middle. Beautiful. On the other side, I'm going to use Sense to do the same thing. I think I'm actually going to go over that inner corner. The shade we used originally was Aura. I'm going to actually take Luster which is this shade here, because I think it's a bit more metallic. And I'm just gonna go over it because I just want more of that metallic pop. Yeah, that's better. The shade Sense reminds me of a shade in the Naked Reloaded palette that I love. All right, so I just want to deepen up my outer corners really fast, both of them, because I feel like I lost a little bit of the color when I blended. I can't believe how easy these blend out. I mean, I can believe it, but I can't. You know what I mean? It's so easy. So I'm gonna take this shade Zeal and I'm going to use that just to deepen up the outer corner to add a little bit of smokiness and depth, but I'm also gonna take it down to the outer corner of the lower lash line. I just want to use as many shades as like I can. And then on the other side, I'm going to use the shade Mindful to do the same thing. All right, so I'm going to finish up the lower lash line. The only other matte warm shades I haven't used are Balance and Calm, so I'm going to use those on this side. And then I've used these shades, but I'm probably going to take Balance and Breath and do the same thing on this side. So let's just use Balance on both sides and get that out of the way. On both sides, I'm going to use Yama because Yama has a bit of a green shift as well, so I think it'll look good on both eyes. And I want to show sort of the versatility of this shade with both color stories because I think it is definitely versatile with both. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to pop on some mascara and a lip, and I'm going to come back and show you both looks, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, so here is the final look for both eyes. I did not put on lashes because I just wanted you guys to be able to see the eyeshadows, so I just felt like why put on lashes. I do think I got a little bit of mascara up here, but that's okay. But you know, this is an eyeshadow palette video presentation, first impressions, so I didn't want to put on lashes. I really wanted you guys to see how the shadows perform. I think that the mattes blended out so fast, so effortless. I just want to get that mascara off because my OCD just needs that to happen. You know, I think this is classic Natasha Denona. Beautiful, amazing formula. In terms of the color story, the only critique, if I was going to give it a critique right now at this point, is the same thing I said about the bronze palette, and that is I wish there was one light champagne metallic, because I just like a lighter inner corner. I just do. That's just me. And there's nothing quite light enough, because even Yama, I don't know if you can see in the inner corner, even though it's more of like a topper, it still has a deep sort of tone to it. So I don't love that for the inner corner for my skin tone. I do just wish, because even in this palette, even though Silk looks kind of light, it's really not that light. I mean, it's not as light as I would like it to be. In terms of something for my inner corner. Like, it's still very coppery. And there isn't anything in Zendo that is traditionally what I would think of as a lid shade, you know, in terms of like light, champagne-y, shimmery goodness. And that's the only thing. That's the only thing I would complain about, really. The deep shades are deep. The mattes are beautiful. The metallics are foiled. The duochromes are really pretty. I mean, it's fun. And, you know, for anybody who's like, that's weird, like it's a weird color story or whatever, if it was an all warm palette, would complain. If it was an all cool palette, would complain. She did the bronze, she did sunrise, and she also did glam. And so I feel like at this point, so many brands are putting out eyeshadow palettes. It's like nice to see something we really haven't seen. You know, it's not the standard neutral palette. It's not the standard rainbow palette. It's something that you can use if you're more of a neutral person, and it's something you can use if you like a pop of color. So I just feel like it's a very fun palette. I think you can do some bold glam looks with it, and you could do some, you know, daytime looks with it. There's just a lot to do here. And I did try to keep my looks pretty basic just so that we could see performance and you guys could get an idea of, you know, what's going on, and I could use as many shades as I could. I actually used every shade in the palette except for Tranquil. So I used every shade, which is what I wanted to do, so that's good. And right now, first impressions, I love it. Do you need it? I mean, that's really up to you. If you feel like you're gonna get a lot of use out of it, like I wouldn't spend a ton of money on Natasha Denona if I didn't feel like I would use it. This isn't the brand to be buying to let collect dust in your collection. This is a brand to buy to enjoy it. The formulas are beautiful. You're never gonna have a bad makeup day using this. So, you know, if it's something that you can see yourself reaching for over and over again, I would say yes, it's 100% worth it. If you think that this color story is one that's going to sit in your drawer and collect dust, maybe not. She's got so many different options now in this price point that I feel like, do you need every single one? Probably not. I didn't get glam, still kicking myself for it, but I didn't get it, you know, and now that I haven't gotten it, and I did get this one, do I feel like there's a hole in my collection? A little bit. A little bit. That is it for today's first impressions video. I just wanted to really get to the point. I am a huge fan. I think this is a good palette. There's nothing negative for me to really say about it at this point. I think it's fun. I think it's fresh. I think it's different. And it's the amazing Natasha Denona formulas that we all know and love. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the look. Which one do you like better? The warmer side or the cooler side? Do I look a little Harley Quinn? I feel very Harley Quinn right now. Let me know if you're going to pick this up, if you're going to pass on it, what your thoughts are. Make sure if you like the video, you give it a thumbs up. You have no idea how much that helps my channel and helps my videos get seen. If you're not subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel before you go. You can follow me on social. My handle's @GlamLatte. And don't forget, the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is everywhere you listen to podcasts. All those details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your